I'm Marcus Coward, and this is Wake Up New Bedford, and I'm here with Cory Rios.
How you doing?
Thanks for being here.
Thank you, man. Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, for those who know him, you may know Cory from either his recent burst onto the influencer and comedy scene on Instagram. Are you on other platforms as well?
I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at the moment.
Cool. And or maybe you cut your hair, or maybe you just see him around because he's been living in this area for a long time. So we're gonna get to know Cory, and to start off with getting to know you, please let us know where you're from.
I'm from New Bedford, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Born and raised. Currently working over in Fairhaven, Mass.
Oh, okay.
That's where the shop's located, and that's where things are starting to really take off for myself.
And so, starting off from when you were young, like walk us through like where you went to school, for instance.
So start off, from the very beginning.
Yeah, like elementary school.
Elementary school, I went to Hathaway.
Okay.
And middle school, went to Mandan. High school, middle school and high school, I did 3 years over at Nazarene Christian Academy.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where we had met.
Exactly.
And then high school was Voc Tech, Greater New Bedford Voc Tech.
So you went to NCA during middle school?
It was my 8th grade year, and I stayed there until sophomore year. And then I jumped over to Voc to finish up junior and senior year.
How was high school at NCA?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was a very small group.
Yeah.
So we just, I don't know, it was honestly like the time of my life there. Like, it was, I don't want to say a lot of horse playing, but I definitely didn't take my academics too seriously.
What made you want to go to Voc?
Voc, it was just like, I kind of wanted to graduate with class over 4 people. You know?
Sure. No,
lie.
Totally,
you know what
totally.
I mean? Like, I'd say it was a very small group, but it definitely served its purpose in my life, like in that moment. But I wanted to experience, like the actual
real high
full
school.
high school environment. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
And then I was also interested in getting into like sports. I played baseball. I was already a couple of years out of playing baseball, but when I transferred over to Voc, I don't know. I kind of just stopped wanting to play baseball.
Really?
And then one of the shop teachers over there, he recognized me from like Pony League, and he asked if I wanted to play, but I was already two years out, so my career ended then.
Were you playing any other sports?
I tried out for like the basketball team, but they just didn't see the talent.
That's interesting. You bring up NCA though. Like, it was such an amazing time being there, and it gives you so many things, but with that, you kind of forget like all the things that it may not have, like sports teams or like, a lot of people to give you like that real high school experience.
Yeah, no, I was on the basketball team for NCA.
Okay.
And I feel like we were killing it, you know what I mean?
Sure.
We maybe won like 2-3 games. But
And you're playing other middle schools.
Yeah, other middle schools, so we're traveling and stuff, so that was a fun time.
Okay. And so from this point up until you get to Voc, was it like hard to be switching schools, or are you moving at all, or do you like have the same friend group, or like do you really end up getting friends like in Voc?
Yeah, so the beautiful thing with like NCA was that it was like obviously a small tight-knit group, friends that I still have to this day.
Yeah.
So me transferring over to Voc at the time, like those friendships remain.
Cool.
I gained new ones as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's just how you go about it, so.
And so up until you get to Voc, what did you see yourself doing with your life?
I had no idea.
Really?
Yeah, I had like a lot of like dreams and aspirations and things like that. But the cool thing about Voc is obviously you're going there to learn a trade.
Yeah.
So you're trying to figure it out. I never understood how people just straight in high school already knew exactly what they wanted to do for the rest of their life. That was never who I was, or my brain didn't work that way.
Yeah.
I always had like big dreams. Now it's like, how do I get like there? You know what I mean? Do I want to work in carpentry for the rest of my life? I like the trade, but I just personally couldn't see myself doing that, for the rest of my life.
So you mentioned you had dreams and aspirations. Like, do you remember them? Like, were they like embarrassing or?
I've had a lot. And
No, that's cool. I mean, me too.
I would say like at one point I was thinking about being a firefighter, which
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
being in the mix of Voc Tech, you know, you're seeing all these different trades. So I was like, do I want to be an electrician? Do I want to be a plumber or carpenter?
Were you inspired at all of what your parents were doing?
I feel like, you know, I've always, I'm inspired by like, you know, their success, but not particularly like what they were doing.
Yeah, sure.
You know, I kind of wanted to find like my own lane.
Yeah.
And that's just always been like how I am. You know?
I know what you mean. My dad's been a nurse for like over 20 years, and he kept telling me and my older brother like, "Hey, you should really get into nursing. You know, you can get paid a lot, and it's not that much schooling." I'm like, "I'm good. Like, you're a hard worker, and I really respect that, but like, it's really not for me."
Yeah.
I appreciate it though.
Yeah. No. So that's why. Yeah, my parents are very encouraging. You know, not telling me to do a certain thing or to go and do this, but you know, I feel like I have been guided in the right ways, but also like, what do you want to do? You know what I mean? Not something that's like forced on me. You know, like your story, like maybe parents like do want their kids to follow in their footsteps, you know, and in other ways, my parents have wanted me to follow in their footsteps, but when it came to like a career or something that I wanted to do, that's pretty much on me to figure out, you know?
Okay, cool.
So.
And so we had mentioned a little bit off camera that you were associated with Beyond Music. And so I asked that because, you know, besides that and baseball, like, did you have any other hobbies or passions growing up, or you were just kind of enjoying being a kid in a lot of ways?
I definitely enjoyed being a kid.
Yeah.
But in high school, that's when I actually started to be a barber. I started cutting my own hair.
That's how you started on yourself?
That's how I started. I started cutting my own hair. I honestly didn't want to go to barbershops.
Just to save money?
To save money.
Yeah.
Honestly, like some of the environments I wasn't down with,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every place is different, but I just didn't personally like the scene. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just getting like a 2 all the way around, and I'm squaring off my sideburns. Like,
sure.
Back in like 2011, that's when I graduated. I was like, I'm not getting anything too crazy. I'm not like getting fades. And
Okay.
everybody was kind of doing ice picks, you know what I mean, on their sideburns. But I just started off small.
Okay.
Just a 2. Straight sideburn, you know what I mean? So that was a hobby of mine.
Sure.
At the time. And then over time, it just started to develop where I'm cutting my friends' hair, I'm cutting family's hair. But I still, in that moment, I'm not like, oh, I want to be a barber.
Yeah, sure.
This is just a hobby.
Did you start off being nice, or did you like mess up on yourself like once or twice?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. No, nobody starts off nice.
Yeah, no, you
I'm
gotta
laying in
ask.
front, you know what I mean? Terrible. So
Definitely once, maybe twice in middle school, never again, bro.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone.
No.
Maybe if I put in more like time and like was
Of
more
course.
determined, but like, yeah, I definitely scarred myself. I'm like, this is a lot harder than it looks.
yeah, man.
A lot harder than it
Dude,
looks.
that's why I'm wearing a hat right now, bro, because I don't have a cut. I need a cut, man.
Yeah, I feel
But
you.
now being in this industry, it's like, dude, you gotta try to give yourself a cut in between like clients now. It's not like, you know, like, or you have to make an appointment for yourself.
But I saw in one of your videos, like you're cutting them up and you like
Yeah,
do your
dude,
own
hey,
lineup. Yeah, just a little
In
bit.
between
Yeah.
clients, you know, I'll have like
That's
the chair turn
hilarious.
around. I might just line myself up real quick. No,
Okay.
I'm not doing that. No,
Okay,
for real.
yeah, because okay, yeah.
That's
Just a joke.
unsanitary, man. I'm not gonna do that.
For sure, that was exactly okay.
Yeah.
So when you are younger, do you have like a concept of money at all? Like, did you really just start cutting hair like as a hobby, or were you trying to make money from a young age?
It was definitely a really cool side gig for myself, and I would start off maybe like when I first started, like $5-10 for like a haircut.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, because I'm still working out of high school, but this was honestly just a craft that I enjoyed, an art that I enjoyed. So I was like, yeah, like, come over my house. I'll cut you in the basement. You know, that's where it all started, like in the basement haircuts. And dude, I thought it was cool just to get like $5-10.
Sure.
I mean, we're living in a way different like financial like time right now. So $10 out of high school, I'm like, all right, cool. That covers this. That
Yeah.
covers that. $10 now doesn't cover much. You know what
That's
I mean?
2 McChickens.
Yeah, maybe, right? Who knows? Maybe one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, you haven't told me what your shop was yet in Vogue. What was it?
It was called residential remodeling at the time. It's not there anymore. Yeah, I know.
Okay, yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
really knows like about that one, but it's a 2-year shop. So it was like if you
interesting.
didn't like your shop that you were in freshman and sophomore year, then you can jump or make it like a transfer into like one of these shops. So residential remodeling, it had interior design, carpentry, electrical, and plumbing all in one. So that's
Interesting.
why I was like, all right, do I want to fit into one of these trades, you know? So there was a cool like opportunity to figure out what do you want to do.
Yeah.
But no, nothing really stuck to me in the end. But
And so, do you feel like you would have learned something with cosmetology? Is that something like, I know so many women take that, but is that something guys really take at Vogue if they're interested in being a barber?
I would say yes now.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Because the barber industry has for sure changed, where you're not just doing buzz cuts, sharp lineups. No, there's actual like precision, like shear work, like with scissors, knowing the different like sections and parts of like the head to really like create like the perfect shape for everybody's individual face. Everybody's got different head shapes.
Yeah.
So now, yes, I think there will be more interest for guys to take up like cosmetology, you know, because like the industry for sure has changed.
That's interesting. I never really thought of like barbers, like that industry, like, I don't want to say innovating, but like having to change over time.
Right.
But what do you feel like? Do you feel like there was a shift in like particularly at a certain time, or why do you feel like it wasn't already like that? Why weren't they focusing on that, and why are they now?
I would say social media is a huge inspiration, you know, for people. And now we're seeing a lot of European haircuts and things like that, and people who are mastering this like amazing like shear work that you're seeing. And even like the styles have changed. Like before it was everybody gets like a buzz cut, a taper, ice picks, you know what I mean? But now it's people want the flow. They want it sticks out here, but still fits the head perfectly. That takes scissor work, shear work. You know, you can't just get by anymore as a barber with just good clipper work, with a good fade. You know what I mean? So we do have to progress and like just like follow just like where is the time's going, you know?
Sure.
So yeah, I would say social media has like the full influence
No, that
when it
makes a lot
comes
of
on
sense.
that, you know?
And then, so what was barber school like for you?
It was like jail.
Straight up. Okay. So
No,
was it somewhere locally, or did you have to go far for it?
Dang, I gotta like retake my thing back because I don't want to like put any schools on
No,
blast.
sure. Okay. But it was hard. It was tough.
It was tough.
Yeah, sure.
I hope that, you know, like the barbering industry, like schools around can just like really progress and get better, find like amazing teachers who are passionate for that and want students there that are disciplined and working hard. Because like don't get into like this industry if you just want to make money. Like care about people, work hard at it, actually have a passion for it. You know, like social media, like I said, is very influencing, but don't just get in it for a quick buck. You know what I mean? So when I was going to school, it was a 9-month program.
Oh, wow.
So you had to complete however many hours that is, 5 days a week. And it was a very mixed crowd. People that wanted to be there, and then people that almost were like forced to be there, didn't maybe know what to do.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And so it was like kind of chaotic in a lot of like situations and like that. The teachers tried hard, but you can't control like how a whole classroom wants to act.
Sure.
You know what I mean? What the schools needed was just more students who are willing to learn.
Yeah, sure.
And passionate about a career. That's, you know what I mean? Like that would change everything. But since we had a very mixed crowd, people that wanted to slack off and then people who are motivated and wanted to grow, now the teachers have to find that in between.
Yeah.
So no, I don't blame like the school, but I'm just like, yeah, if you want to get in this industry, dude, just be passionate.
That is so much more training than I thought
It is.
barbers would need.
100%.
Like, that's more than like law enforcement or like military. Like that's
crazy.
That's a lot.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That is crazy.
Yeah, so as we're like in this, where I think that it could be a lot better is a lot of the focus was just sanitation, which is huge, obviously.
Sure, yeah.
But where the industry is going now, a lot of shear work is necessary. So I hope that the schools progress with the times and say like, all right, we're gonna bring in teachers, or we're gonna start to just like learn different types of haircuts, or not just how to get past the state board just to get your license, but really like grow in that area.
Do you feel like it needed to be that long?
No,
Yeah, okay.
100% no, I don't. I think that we could have gone by in 3 months.
Sure.
You know, it didn't need to be 9 months. That's my own personal opinion.
Was it just kind of repetitive?
It was.
Yeah,
It was
yeah, gotcha.
repetitive, and then there was, again, if we were sitting there hands-on, like learning and having the haircuts daily, that would have been better. But what we were relying on was just people coming off of the streets who wanted like a haircut for like $5. So we weren't like a packed out like shop where we're like learning constantly and working with different hair types and stuff like that.
Sure.
But that, again, that's not on the school. That's not the school's fault, you know. But yeah.
Huh. And how long ago was that now?
That was, I got licensed in 2018.
2018. And so are you still working at, well, first, they pay you to go through school, or do you have to pay to go through?
You have to pay to go to school. Yeah, so it's something that you're going to have to sacrifice.
Okay.
If you're a little bit older and you want to get into this industry, but it's worth it, again, if you have the passion, and then you just get over that 9-month period, and then you're just grinding from that point on. But
Sure.
it would be tough if you try to get into it now and you have a family, or you have another job, or you know, you're a single house income, you know, things like that. But dude, you have to just like grind, and that's what it takes to really just like get yourself out there and like progress, like with anything.
Sure.
So, yeah.
And so what made you want to do this instead of maybe find I don't want to say a more reliable job, because everyone's going to need a barber at some point, but what made you say, all right, I'm going to go with being a barber?
Yeah, at the time, again, I didn't want to necessarily, I wasn't like ever looking at barbering as like my career choice. But I had a friend at the time that encouraged me to go with him because he wanted to go.
Oh,
and I was
okay.
like, dude, like, you're not gonna be better than me at barbering, bro.
Out of pure competition.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
You know what, dude? Like, the mindset of barbering over time has definitely changed, where it once was very like competitive, and you're almost like looking at another barber as like, no, like, I'm gonna be better than you.
Yeah.
My book's gonna be more filled up than you.
Sure.
I'm gonna like, but now it's like what I've felt and is more just encouraging, an inclusive environment that is, it wants others to like grow and like succeed. And so I'm glad that there's been like that shift.
Okay.
I don't really know what it was
Yeah.
that took that shift, but it's a blessing to see. So going back, my buddy encouraged me to go to school. So we both just went through that process together, which was awesome because, like I said, it didn't feel like a legit school.
Yeah.
So it felt like, man, like I'm just like treading along. I'm doing my time so I can get in, get out,
Yeah.
get my license, and we're good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really like my friend that encouraged me to go. We both got it done. I graduated before him. He was a little upset. Graduated
You
on,
gotta bring that up, bro.
graduated on his birthday.
That's dope. Yeah, yeah. Happy birthday.
Happy
I'm better
birthday,
than you.
baby.
Yeah.
No, but I'm glad that we went through it, because now looking back since 2018 to what it is now, it is a very a great career for like myself. You know, my wife, she's at home with my children, and I'm able to provide for for all of us.
That's
you know what
fire.
I mean? Yeah. So that was
Yeah.
like a huge goal of mine, was just to. I want to take this back old school, man. Like the wife, like, if you're able and willing and want to, like, stay at home, like with the
Yes.
kids, raise up the kids
Yeah.
instead. Because I personally don't want to like send my kids to like a daycare, like if I don't have to.
Sure,
You know what
sure.
I mean? Because I want like us as parents to raise the kids.
Yeah,
And like
be a
if you,
family.
it'd be a family. So
Yeah.
if you send your kids to a daycare, which is nothing wrong with that. Everybody has to do what they have to do.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, I mean, I don't know how long a kid is at the daycare for, but for many hours.
Yeah.
So they'll pick up traits from like other kids, which is like not fine, but it can be
Yeah.
rough.
No, definitely.
Something that you would have to like again disciple your kid and help work through like different like problems they may face or behaviors they may come through. But I'm just happy to be in a position where my wife can stay at home with the kids, and I know that they're getting the best care. You know, so.
And so, from the outside perspective, it definitely looks like barbers have a lot of money. Maybe it's just because they have a lot of cash on them, because I mean it's a cash business a
Yeah.
lot of times. But that is great to know that like you can like earn that much and take care of a family.
For sure.
But do you feel like is it the shop's location? Is it the shop maybe promoting itself, or is it you as a barber that needs to take care of most of the promotion and grinding to make sure you're taken care of?
All the above.
Yeah.
It all comes into play. When I first started out, I'm passing out cards that I printed out, you know what I mean? And I'm going up to people individually. Hey, come get a haircut. I'm over here, and I would love to take care of you and give you a service. And we just go from there. And it's also, I believe, the shop's responsibility to advertise, like, hey, like for the barbers in whatever way that they want to advertise. But it all goes hand in hand and it works. And you can never do too much of advertising.
Sure.
So, like where I'm at right now with like social media, that's also a part of like my advertising.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. It all takes a place. And if you do have a business, be on social media. It's uncomfortable, you know what I mean? To like start off, it's a grind. You gotta figure it out.
You gotta get over.
Whether you're posting videos or just straight pictures of your stuff, advertise for yourself. It's free platforms. You can't go wrong with that. There's been many a times that people have come to like the shop that I'm working at, and they're like, "Oh, I've lived in this area for 20 years and I've never seen or heard about you guys." So we started to pick up on that. Well, why not? Why are you not knowing about us? So we understood we're on a busy road. You can just straight drive past us when you're not. Never even know. We didn't at the time have even a barber pole out there or anything like that. So
really?
Advertise in every single way. We put a mural on the side of the building where it says like the shop name and a big red arrow that says, like Galarza's Barbershop. So people now know.
Hard to miss.
How do you miss? And then another thing that we do now is just this paid subscription with Booksy. Booksy is just an online booking system. So a lot of people like in the area are looking for new barbers. They go to Booksy to see what's happening. Then they can like pick up, wow, there's Galarza's Barbershop over in Fairhaven. Let me like check out their reviews. Wow, like they got good reviews, and let me go check them out. So you can't go wrong with advertising in every single avenue that you can even think of, you know what I mean? You have to do that for your business.
And so there's that hump when it comes to social media of like getting used to being on camera and things like that. But how hard was that for you to get over? Like, were you a more introverted or extroverted kid growing up? And like, was that kind of natural? Was that really hard to do?
So I would say like naturally I'm more introverted.
Oh, really?
Seriously.
That's crazy. Okay. Okay, we're going to get to that. That's interesting. Okay.
But it also depends, right? It depends on who you're with, right?
Okay.
So if I'm just with maybe like, I don't know, you can kind of like feel like environments and situations. I may be more reserved in some scenarios, or I may be like more outspoken and outgoing in others. So I kind of like bounce back and forth between introvert and extrovert.
Sure.
Truthfully, yeah.
And so, but you can turn it on when you need to.
Not that I would like turn it on to like perform.
Yeah, sure.
But I don't know. It kind of just like happens,
Well, so with you being naturally an introvert, were you one to like want to talk to your customer while giving them a haircut, or would you prefer it to be silent?
It really depends.
Okay.
Like, I am there to provide you with a service. So what barbering has done for me is it made me more of that extrovert.
Sure.
Where it's like, dude, even when I don't want to talk, I'm gonna get to know you because I want you to experience a true like professional service. But I do also gauge off of like how the person is. If they don't want to give me anything and talk, I'm honestly fine with that, bro. You know what I mean? Because like I talk all day. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? So I'm fine. Like I'll go based off of like how the other person is feeling. Some people tell me like a lot about their life and their whole life story and have a lot to say. And then some people, it's good. How you doing? Good. Yeah. What do you want? Yeah, that's good. There's not much to work with. So I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna pull your teeth, bro.
Exactly.
So yeah.
And so you're comfortable when they're comfortable. That's really it.
And I think comedy goes a long way. You crack a joke with somebody, you kind of get them to open up a little bit, and you go from there. You know what I mean? I am trying to bring out the best in somebody, not only make them like look good, but I want them to feel good as well.
Sure.
And so like if I can, if you're sitting in my chair and if you're comfortable, that's a win for me, bro. Like a great haircut is only going to take you so far. You have to be personable. in this industry.
Yeah.
If you're not personable, then they can get a good haircut anywhere, you know. But being a barber helped me to get out of that introverted mindset to really truly care about people and what's going on in their life, because everybody has their own story.
Yeah.
So now it's like, now I'm invested in your story. I'm into it. I'm going to ask you about your family next time you come around.
Yeah, for
you know what I
sure.
mean? So I'm grateful in this aspect that barbering has helped me to even meet so many people.
Yeah.
People that I would have never met before. People that we both would have walked by each other on the street or something like that, you know? But now I know you personally, and that just, it's a good feeling.
And so you got your license in 2018, right?
Yep.
So talk about being a barber during COVID. We have a few minutes left, but I don't think I've ever gotten this perspective before.
Okay.
Especially as a fresh barber, you're like really looking forward to it. You just did your time these
Yep.
9 months, and then you're looking forward to it, finally getting into it for like a year or some change,
Yeah.
and then that happens.
Yeah. So yeah, COVID happened and all the shops closed down. I started doing at-home haircuts again.
Yeah.
You know, straight back from the grind in the basement, and not many. You know what I mean? But just a few. And I think once the doors opened for the barbershops again, that was a huge relief.
When did they open?
Maybe like several months into COVID.
Okay.
Like we still had to follow precautions,
Sure.
which was very weird. You know, you had to wear like a mask, but you can take the mask off if you're gonna do the beard. It was just very weird. It didn't make sense, man.
Sure,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? But yeah, funny, weird times.
Definitely. And especially for someone like a barber who like their whole thing depends on being next to people, you know? So like,
Yep.
you know, somewhat similarly to teachers, but then they did online, but you can't do an online haircut. Yeah.
Right. That's right.
So, I mean, were you really like worried during that time, or like you're just like, yeah, I gotta do what I gotta do?
Worry never really crossed my mind. I had, I was newly married, so I just had, you know, it was like an extended like honeymoon, like with my
Yeah.
wife. You know what I mean? Like we're just home together, like all the time.
Yeah.
I wasn't truly like worried about like what was to come. Obviously, like I had put a lot of faith like in Christ, and you just go from there. You know what I mean? Like you come and you take like whatever comes your way. You know that you're gonna get through it. You're gonna figure it out.
Sure.
And that's just how I am. Like you're gonna figure it out. You know?
Okay. No, I mean, yeah, God can definitely give you that faith in the future and the confidence to just like give it to Him and just do what you can.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Make it through the day, and you know, at some point it's gonna get better.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so for part 2, and I've been like holding myself to not talk about the comedy so that we can leave that for part 2, okay? Because I feel like that's
Sure.
the most interesting part of this whole story.
It's definitely interesting.
Especially if like, I'm really interested to know if like you were a class clown growing up, or did you have to like learn comedy, or do you like write jokes? Where you get your ideas for your skits? So we'll talk all about that
Yeah.
in part 2.
Absolutely.
Thank you everyone for watching. This has been Cory Rios. In part 1, we've got to know him. Part 2, we'll talk about, like I just said, this new era that he stepped into of being an influencer, you know, taking on comedy, and I mean, really networking to meet a variety of people, including Big Blend. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. And so, catch us in part 2. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.
I'm running,